So I was hesitant to make this video because I don't know like if you guys would really care or any of that, but if you guys didn't know, I'm a pretty big Royals fan. The past 4 or 5 years, I've really been a good fan, a big fan, and last year obviously with the run, we saw it coming. It was no surprise to me or my dad. The year before that, it was really cool to see them play because games actually kind of mattered. They were actually, contending for a wild card spot, and last year to see them win the wild card game against Oakland, come back when the game was almost over, it was crazy. But today we acquired Johnny Cueto. If you guys didn't know that, you're living under a rock. We give up Brandon Finnegan, John Lamb, and I believe his name is Cody Reed for Cueto, and I think it was like cash considerations or whatever the hell they said, but I like it. My worry was that we were going to give up Kyle Zimmer, who is a big guy. If they would have given him up, I actually probably would have been like, I don't think this is a good idea. And I'm going to talk about this for a minute. So people are saying that, well, I was on Instagram and I saw some comments. First one I saw was that the Royals need an outfield, so that's why they're going to trade Cueto to the Rockies for Carlos Gonzalez and others. And I'm like, first of all, you're a fucking idiot. They're not going to do that. They did this because they're trying to win the World Series and they need pitching. The Royals don't need an outfielder. They're going to get Alex Gordon back here for sure in time for the playoffs. So I'm not worried about that. Paul Orlando and Gerard Dyson are just fine out there. And then you have Rios and Lorenzo Cain, who's like the greatest fucking outfielder on earth right now defensively. I really can't think of anyone who's even, well, maybe not as good as him, but even really better. There's nobody. He's definitely getting a Gold Glove this year if he stays healthy the rest of the season. Crossing my fingers there. But let's talk about this trade. So we had to give up Brandon Finnegan, a guy that pitched in the playoffs last year for us in the World Series. I believe he was drafted last year. He played in the College World Series and the World Series in the same year. That's crazy. And here's the thing with Finnegan. He's probably 23 or 24. He went to college. So that means he's a kind of more of an older guy, a veteran. Well, not a veteran, but he should be more developed at this point than he is. And I haven't really followed the Royals too closely the past month-ish, whatever. That's a weird word that I just said. I kind of slowed down. I stopped watching every game and paying attention, probably late June and up to the All-Star break. But the past couple of weeks I've been watching, since the All-Star break. I've kind of picked it up again. So I don't know a whole lot about Finnegan, what he's done this year, honestly. I know they've had him in the bullpen a little bit, and I'm not sure. He pitched great in the playoffs. There was one game, I'm pretty sure it was game 5, I think it was. He actually gave up, kind of coughed up the win, but you know what? He's a young guy, and the Giants were good. So, but I'm fine with giving him up because if you're going to have to give someone good up to get Cueto. They're not just going to just get rid of Cueto. The guy's been there for 8 years, his whole career, I think. He's the fans love him. They're not just going to give him up for nothing. So you got to give some good guys up. And I believe John Lamb should have been up a while ago with, I think he was drafted around the same time as Hosmer and Moustakas and those guys. So he probably should have been up by now if he was going to be that good. So those two guys right there, I don't have a big problem with them giving him up. Kyle Zimmer, I think if he's able to stay healthy, I think that's been his problem. He hasn't been healthy. He is disgusting from what I've heard. I've obviously really never seen him pitch a lot, and that's the thing. I haven't seen these guys pitch a ton. Brandon Finnegan's the only one I've really seen pitch. But my thing with John Lamb is if he was supposed to come up with Moustakas and Hosmer and those guys, he should probably be here, or we're almost here by now. I think they did bring him up for one game this year, but he was supposed to start and they didn't start him. So I don't really have a problem with those two. And the other guy, what is his name? I'm thinking. I think it's Cody Reed. Cody Reed. I got the ESPN article here because I knew I was going to keep forgetting his name. Now, I don't know anything about him at all. I don't know if he's going to be good or what, but it's just one of those guys you got to give up. And if you want to win the World Series, these are the moves you have to make. And I'm like, I was just telling my dad the other day, it's like, they're not going to make a move. It's the Royals. We never make a move, ever. We never do this. And it's basically because we haven't been in the position to. I don't remember how many seasons. It was bad. It was bad how many losing seasons we'd had until last year. Like, you know, but we're finally in a position to make these trades. It's so cool to be the guys that get the big guy. Like, you always see, like, where did Lester go to last year? Jesus Christ, the A's. He went to the A's. Because we actually beat them in the wild card. But, you know, it's cool to see those big trades, like, happen, but it's like, well, I wish my team could do that. And to finally have our team do that, it's so cool to get the guy. I had Johnny Cueto on my fantasy baseball team last year, and I loved him. He's a really good pitcher. He's been good this year, too. He hasn't fallen off. I think in the past, his thing has been injuries, and let's just cross our fingers he doesn't get hurt. But the guy's actually really good, you know. Only guy I'd rather have is Greinke, but that's not happening. The Dodgers are trying to win the World Series this year, so they're going to take Kershaw on him and go with it. So, you know, we give up 3 guys for Cueto, and I don't know what they'll do this offseason if they'll resign him. They're going to have a lot of guys. I think there's quite a few people that are going to have to go through arbitration and stuff. So, you know, we'll kind of see what happens. I know, like, Morales, Rios, Volquez, kind of the guys that got in the offseason. I think they signed them all to like a 2-year deal, so we don't have to worry about them this year. And Morales has been so good. I remember this guy on Instagram I got in an argument with saying that Morales is going to be bad. I knew he was going to be okay. You know, the guy's hitting 280, give or take. 10, 15 home runs. I don't know the exact number. 60, 70 RBIs already at this point. You know, the guy has been really good for us. A lot more production out of Billy Butler, but I like this trade a lot. But you know what we do in the offseason with him, re-sign him or not, the goal is to win the World Series. You know, if you win the World Series, then he did his part. You know, he did his part here. So that's kind of what this move is. You want to win the World Series, you go out and get a good pitcher, you know. Obviously, we weren't going to be able to get David Price because the Tigers have him, more than likely, just because it's a division rival. Cole Hamels, you know, that's a guy that they could have gone and got. He actually threw a no-hitter the other day. That was kind of cool. But, yeah, I don't, you know, my thoughts are kind of jumbled. I didn't really have a plan coming into this. I just saw a comment, and I wanted to talk about it. I wasn't going to, but I am now. So I really like the trade. It'd be really nice if they could re-sign him next year, but more than likely he'll go to the Dodgers or the Yankees. But you know, we'll enjoy him while we have him. Hopefully we can get Alex Gordon back next year. I'd really like to get Alex Gordon back. You know, I think that if that guy signs, I think a 7-year deal to just end his career in Kansas City would be really, really nice for him to do. You know, I love Alex Gordon. In my Q&A, I said, I don't know if that's going to go up before or after this video. I said that I said that Lorenzo Cain was my favorite player. Alex Gordon's right there. You know, I love both those guys. And I really hope that Alex Gordon's able to come back next year. Well, not able to come back, but I hope we re-sign him and give him what he wants. I hope he does kind of like a Tom Bahali thing, like the Chiefs, you know, got, where Tom Bahali took a pay cut to be with the Chiefs, and I might talk about the Chiefs a little sometime, but that was so cool, them getting Jeremy Maclin. I just, like, our teams never are in the situation to go out and get the big name guys in free agency and trade for them at the trade deadline, so it's just so cool to see. But yeah, guys, this is way longer than I anticipated on it being. So I'm going to go ahead and close it off there. If you guys want to say anything in the comments, go ahead and do that. Q&A should be up either before or after you see this video. So yeah, guys, it's been Tracky, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.